How are you? Happy Tuesday. I'm filming this on Monday because I am trying to get a little bit ahead and I need to do a journal with me and because I need to catch up on some things. So I've got some pictures printed. I used my Polaroid zip and I got some stuff done. I'm ready to rock and roll with the journal pages, and I've been doing some planning pages. So I'm going to do a bit of a video for the $15 tier with the journaling and the planning. I'm going to talk about a few things that have changed. I'm going to move my mouse for a minute so I can look at my notes for this coffee chat, because I actually took notes for it. And I am drinking tea. It's the women's tea, menopausal. It's supposed to help with your mood and hormones and stuff like that. So I'm actually drinking hot tea. Today's coffee chat is about plans, purpose, grace, and priorities. As you know, if you're actually watching the videos and the live video that I just did Sunday on YouTube, on the main YouTube channel, between being sick and depression and anxiety and a lot of other things, I've had a rough past few months, but they've also helped me, and I wrote this down, sort through and organize my priorities. It's helped me hone in on my purpose or purposes. It's allowed me, I've had to allow myself some grace during the past, well, longer than the past few months, y'all, actually quite a lot longer. But it's also allowed me to, I've had to reevaluate my plans. Depression will do that to you, and anxiety will do that to you, and a lack of focus with the ADHD, all of those things combined have sort of done this. So I'm in this place, this weird place now where I have had to redefine some things. But what it all boils down to, in essence, because I'm not going to repeat very much of what I did in the live chat on Sunday, but I am going to talk about a few things that I didn't talk about in that video. We all have limited time. I know I do. I found it much easier to get my life back on track, to show up after the past few months of this illness, depression, anxiety, everything that's been going on, the grief, this last bout of all of this. It hasn't been easy, but I found it to be easier by taking baby steps. And though it hasn't been easy, I've been trying really hard not to beat myself up over everything. Instead, I've been trying to remember that even though I was going through everything I was going through at the different times, and sometimes all together, I still managed to get a few things done. I still managed to show up sometimes, most of the time, but not all of the time, not with everything. I showed up for certain things, and I made it a point to show up for those certain things, and it was really difficult some days to show up to anything really, but I managed to show up to some of the things. That meant other things took a back burner, like cleaning the house, like folding the laundry. Some weeks, a week or so would go by and we were getting our clothes out of baskets because David was really busy with work and I was really busy with depression and anxiety, or being sick, or taking care of Victor, or helping with my mom. Or even if it wasn't as much as I should have, or as much as I was supposed to. As hard as I tried, sometimes it seemed like to get out of the funk I was in, fighting wasn't working. Fighting it wasn't working. Pushing myself really hard and beating myself up and like that wasn't working. So I finally sort of had to let go of the fighting and started embracing those really small moments, those baby steps, the moments of the good stuff, anything good. Even if it was really little, accomplishments, even if they were really little accomplishments, giving myself a pat on the back when I got something done, no matter how small it was, giving myself a pat on the back for showing up, for doing some of the things, anything really. And showing up isn't always easy. getting stuff done when you know you need to, when you're obligated to certain things, when you are depressed, going through grief or ill. If you have illnesses, like chronic illnesses, especially certain ones, it makes it really difficult. I have a number of them. I have fibro, I have depression, anxiety, and ADHD, and I have arthritis. And so some days getting out of bed is a major feat. That's a big accomplishment. Even though it wasn't easy, I felt that the really big urge to feel guilty for going through the things I was going through, for not doing all the things that I knew I should be doing, or that I felt like I needed to be doing, that I felt like I was obligated to do. Self-care is actually the biggest obligation that we have to ourselves, because we're not going to get much of anything else done if we don't take care of ourselves. I started really second-guessing myself. I felt like an imposter. I couldn't stop kicking myself for letting myself get that bad, for not being stronger, for not being more responsible, for not being more determined. That's really when I got super overwhelmed and I started feeling like a major panic attack, it was really bad. I felt so overwhelmed. It was really bad. That's the moment when I reached out for help and I talked to David. The house was a wreck, not dirty, but a wreck. It was cluttered. Laundry hadn't been put up. I had been doing basics, cleaning the bathroom, washing dishes, fixing meals. Some days we had leftovers, or it was a sandwich or a bowl of cereal. But just talking to David helped me sort out a lot of what the issues were, what the underlying issues were, and a lot of the underlying issues were the disorganization and the clutter. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was overwhelmed and stressed out, and the more sick, every time I turned around, getting sick. And I know that part of that's because of self-care. I know it was not taking proper care of myself, not getting enough sleep. I looked at my Fitbit and I showed David for the past couple of weeks my sleep patterns, and he said, "You are not sleeping enough." The other day, last Monday, I want to say it was, I think I had 3.5 hours of sleep, and I was still up and doing stuff. But I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed. I was burned out. And it wasn't one thing. It's not Patreon. It's not YouTube. It's not any one thing. It was the combination of a whole lot of things hitting me, what felt like back to back. People talk about Mercury retrograde. People talk about full moon. People talk about a lot of those things. Well, imagine all of that kind of thing. Like when you lose your lucky rabbit's foot and it happens to be Mercury retrograde, and you forgot to take your vitamins for the past couple of days, and you are around your grandson who's picked up strep throat from school from the other kids, and you don't realize that he's got strep throat. Your mom's been there. Your daughter who's pregnant's been around him. Your mom can't afford to get ill. Your husband has Crohn's disease. He has a low immune system as well. There's a lot of stress over a lot of different things. Not to mention the fact that in January I had pneumonia. But talking to David really helped me. And I was super stressed out because of the clutter. It was really bothering my anxiety. When it gets to that point, it's really bad. I didn't want to journal. I didn't feel like being creative. There's a lot of journal pages that I thought about doing, that I wanted to do, but couldn't bring myself to do because I couldn't. I was out of sorts. I was disorganized. And the moment that I let go of the fighting it and trying to force myself to be creative and started picking up other things to be creative with, reading books, watching a movie, coloring with crayons, doing stuff with Victor when we were both feeling a little bit better, when we weren't contagious. Went to Starbucks with David. We had some quality time together. We went on a date and things like that. I started feeling a little bit better. I started doing little things. Even if it wasn't a whole lot. I did this. And I have not quite finished this part, but I started it. And I started thinking about creative projects, the different things that I have going on. I did this, which is more journaling than anything else. Wasn't really any drawing. I did do this, like I talked about, but I never went back and filled in when my mom came here. I need to do that. I've got some pictures to do that with. But what I may end up doing is doing something completely different on these pages and doing a sort of recap, or I might end up doing a recap of February. I have printed some pictures. I'm going to do some journaling with me, and I may end up doing just that. I've got the picture of David and my mom together. I've got a few other little things, so I may end up doing that on that page and finishing it, because that's one of the things, is that I feel like I started a lot of things, but I wasn't finishing. I got really excited about the junk journal thing and really excited about adding different bits and pieces of ephemera to my journal pages, and I really wanted to do that. But the idea of getting the sewing machine out of the shed and finding room in my room, which was already disorganized and cluttered, trying to fit it in somewhere in our small house, was making me more anxious. And the room was making me anxious because we were KonMariing different things in the house, different sections in the house. And the more that I KonMaried, the more that I realized I still had to do. And I started to get super overwhelmed with it. I started to feel like no matter how much I KonMaried, there was still going to be way too much stuff in my house, in my room, in the living room, in the bedroom, in the kitchen. And David tends to procrastinate a little bit because he has to muster up the energy because of the Crohn's disease, and I know how that feels. So he hasn't really felt like doing a whole lot of that. I can get him in spurts when he's had plenty of rest and he's feeling really good. But it's some weeks for him when it's bad, going to work and doing what he's supposed to do at work, that's pretty much all he can manage. So I got to a point where I couldn't do it by myself anymore. I had been struggling. And we had a long talk about it, and that's when things started changing. We started doing much more of it together. I delegated. Now I still ended up cleaning the bathtub today because we had the plumber coming, and David's been working a lot of hours. And then when he was off, the beginning part of the week, we went to Charlotte. So he drove there and back. We loaded furniture. We unloaded furniture. The next, we cleaned out the room, and then the next day we put the furniture together and started putting the furniture up in here and everything. But the first day we went to Charlotte and moved stuff out of the room. All we left in the room was my red desk, this red craft table, and the red bookcase that I have my more spiritual new age kind of stuff in. Which, like I said in the YouTube video, I'm going to keep the two channels for now because I'm just going to concentrate on doing what I can when I can. But I'm not going to stress myself out over it. And I can rearrange like the monitor and stuff so that is behind me when I talk for that channel. And then I can rearrange things a little bit so that the writing desk is behind me with the bookcases behind me when I do those videos for like writing stuff. So I like the idea of being able to move things a little bit around so that now I'm getting the filming situation straightened out with this stuff like this, so I'm feeling good about that. It's just a matter of figuring things out. So where I'm headed with things feels like it's much better. It does feel much better. I went to TJ Maxx and I got stuff on major clearance. I just did the live video today. This evening, the coffee chat for YouTube was like that was what it was. I talked a little bit, but mostly it was show and tell. And I could have done that video for y'all, but I've noticed that YouTube really likes the hauls. Now there are some people on Patreon who really like the haul videos. But I don't want the channel, like, I was excited about it, but I don't want to do like that. To me is not, I can show y'all new things if I'm excited about it, a new thing or something like that, or the room and the makeover and things like that. But thought that that kind of thing was more of a YouTube thing than a Patreon thing, if that makes sense. How I've set up things in here and going over in the second, I did some vlogging today, so I will take pictures of things. But I'm excited because it's finally starting to really come together for me. Really come together. And it's starting to all make more sense to me. I feel like I understand more of my purpose with Patreon. I understand more of my purpose with YouTube, both channels, and my website. I am switching things up. Like tomorrow, since I'm doing this video ahead of time, tomorrow while I'm getting all of this together, and when it's uploading and all that, I will be sitting on the couch on my laptop and I will be doing, probably while the plumber's here, and I will be doing a blog post for Wednesday, because I want to do a blog post with the video that I do for Wednesday, the writing video. Now, something I've been thinking about, and this will apply to all of you, and then to those of you who are in the $15 tier. I would like to do a live video for Patreon. I'd like to do one twice a month. I'd like to do one for just the $15 tier, and I'd like to do one for everyone. I have Eastern Standard Time, and now that David is on nights all the time, he'll be working Monday through Friday evenings, so he'll be sleeping during the day. Now I can do one during the day, say at around 1 or so my time, or 1 or 2 o'clock my time, and then I can do one in the evenings at, say, like 7 o'clock in the evening. I was thinking about doing that while I've got a live thing kind of set up. I do coffee chats on Mondays on YouTube. I was thinking about doing a live chat. Maybe we can pick a day. I could do, because Tuesdays is y'all's coffee chat. So what I may do is once a month on Tuesday, do a live coffee chat for Patreon. And we can change the time. Like 1 month we can do it at, say, 1 o'clock my time during the day. And then the next time we could switch it around and do it at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening my time, so that we cover kind of more of the time zones. And I know some of you won't be able to do it till after work. And then some of you will, but if you're in the UK or whatever, like depending on your time zone, or if you're somewhere else, you know, the morning might be better. I can get up early in the morning and do one early in the morning if y'all would rather. But we can do a poll and find out which time you'd like. But I want to start doing live videos again. I want to start doing more live videos. I've done them here and there, but I think that gives us an opportunity to talk with each other and stuff. And then I've been thinking that for the $15 tier, we could do a live, maybe a video in video, where it's not just a chat, like maybe a live journal with me, or a live plan with me, or a live project or something. So y'all let me know what y'all think, and we can do a poll and figure it out. But like I said, that would make 2 live videos a week. I mean, 2 live videos a month, which would help reduce some of my editing time and would be way more fun because it's more interactive with the live videos. Because if you sign in with the live video on YouTube, there's the chat. So I think that would be a really good idea. I've been working on the live setup so we can do just that, and I'm pretty much got it worked out. I can do them. I've set it up. I can do them. It's not the best, and I'm still trying to figure out OBS. I've found some videos that are really helpful about working out OBS and how that works. So I'm trying to get better with OBS, learning about the different things. I need to do some kind of like little picture of me where it's like a waiting kind of picture. Figure out how to do that stuff. One that says like stand by, or potty break or something. And then I also want to have like a thumbnail that's specifically for y'all, and then do a thumbnail that's specifically for YouTube, for like live coffee chats and maybe like live journal with me's or something. I'm getting everything together and it feels a whole lot better. I feel like after looking at how I was spending my time when I was overwhelmed and trying to get everything done, like trying to film a video, edit a video, upload a video, and do other stuff all in one day is a lot. And I'm still not at a place where batching videos is really going to work very well, because I do mine as I go. But doing them a day or 2 or 3 days ahead, like I'm doing right now, will work. So I don't have all that pressure, and then doing more live videos will take away some of that too, because on the days where I do a live video, it enables me to do other things that are also priority things. So that's pretty cool and pretty exciting, is that I'm kind of working things out. I've taken a hard look at my priorities and went, okay, what can I do to make these the most important things and get them done without really super stressing myself out and overwhelming myself? And then after thinking about what my purpose is, those kind of went hand in hand, my priorities and my purpose. I kind of figured that stuff, I've been figuring that stuff out, and then going, okay, now I need to make a plan. And I can start making plans to do that. I have been working on and off a little bit in different planners and different things like that. And I do self-care in the Hobonichi weeks. And I have this. And one of the things, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay. One of the things I've been thinking about, because this was my following my inner compass, it had the goals and things, is starting to do, like, keep track of YouTube videos and Patreon videos and blog posts here on this calendar. I have the B6, and I may end up doing it with the B6. And then writing out notes. I think I might do it with the B6. Because I've been doing like morning pages kind of thing, little personal journaling. Well, not actually, I should say. I've been doing evening pages in this some nights. Sometimes though I don't, and I just put like a quote or a little note to myself or something. But this has become my more personal one, and I don't take this one super serious or anything. As a matter of fact, my little TWSBI mini goes in here, and it's got like the Lexington gray ink in it. And I just usually, like, I'll sometimes journal a little bit. I'm not really putting any art or anything in it. It's just basic journaling. I do kind of every now and again put a little bit of stickers on the calendar part of it. But I have so much planning and journaling everywhere else. I think what I may end up doing next go round is getting an A6, maybe an A6 Stology or an A6 Enigma or something like that when this one runs out. I don't know that I'm going to get another A6 Hobonichi, although I love the paper. I can get an A6 Tomoe River notebook. It doesn't have to be a Hobonichi, and that way I'm not limited to the dates. I don't know, something I'm thinking about for next year. I'm going to do a journal with me, like I said, for the $15 tier. I am also gearing up. I've hung up one of the curtains. I had debated over it because wasn't quite sure I liked it, and then I decided to put the curtain rod back up and take my polka dot scarf, which is why you see it right here behind me, and kind of wrap it around a little and let it hang on each side above it, because I want some natural sunlight in. And I thought that I had gotten the curtains and it came with the valance, but it did not come with the valance. And I went back and they didn't have any. So I thought, well, you know what? That's okay, because this will work out. And I can open up the curtains to let sunlight in, and then I can close the curtains. And I like having the stripes and the solid and the polka dots kind of intermingled. I think it'll look good that way. You'll see what I'm talking about really soon. I put the little create thing right there. I put the little inspire thing with the candle right there. My calendar is right there. I might have to move it over a little bit more so y'all can see it pretty well. But it says there, maybe that's a little bit better. The coffee cup says wake up and smell the coffee, and I put that by the thing that has the date. I'm getting there. It's getting there. I've been working on things bit by bit, and I feel a lot better already. Even though I've got so much stuff to go through, I still go through. I feel a lot better already, and that's making a big difference. I'm just going through it bit by bit. I'm KonMariing things bit by bit, and that's made a really big difference. It's already lessened my anxiety, this room, and getting like things organized, really truly organized, is making a big difference. Clutter is hard to deal with when you have ADHD because you get distracted by it. For me anyway. It may not be that way for everybody. I can handle a little bit of clutter. Like, I can handle creative messiness, creative clutter, that kind of chaos that comes from creative clutter when you're in the middle of everything. But it can't stay that way for very long, or it's going to cause me anxiety. So that's one of the things I've been working on, is trying to lessen the anxiety. So having things like the cart and different things like that, having things organized, is really helping. I am pretty excited because I have a lot of ideas, and I am in the middle of starting to work on those ideas, and that feels really good. And then I can get all this in the swing of things, and then that way, come next month, it'll be Camp NaNoWriMo. It'll be exciting. It'll be exciting because I'll be adding writing to the mix, and I'm not setting a high word count goal at all. I'm aiming for like 500 words a day. If that. I just want to be writing every day. Every day. I just want to be writing every day. So I think my goal might be to write for an hour every day, and however much I get written in the hour is good. And if I write over, then that's cool. I might do mine by like hour. That way I give myself an hour every day to write. And some days I may get 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 written. Some days I may only get like 250 words written. I don't know. We'll see. And not that I could get, like, I don't think I could get 5,000 words written in an hour, but you know what I mean. So I'm not going to pressure myself about the number. But if I work for 3 hours because I'm in the zone, and I end up getting like 5,000 words in 3 or 4 hours or whatever, then hey, cool. But I think my focus might be for next month to write for at least 1 hour every day. I think I'm worth that hour every day, you know. Writing is one of my passions. And if I work out the schedule well, and I start doing things a bit ahead of time like I am today, then that will really help. And then every now and again I can do some catch up in the evenings and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I feel like I've been talking for the last few days, I guess because I did 2 live coffee chats back to back, like Sunday and Monday, and then today is still Monday. But I'm excited about the changes, and I say that a lot, but I sometimes get itchy when things get kind of, and when it's too much for the same after a while. I don't like eating the same meals all the time. I change things up. Not that I necessarily get bored, but I just like changing things up. Maybe it's in my nature. So I'm gonna go. I hope that you well, I've said that already. So y'all let me know, and I will do a poll at the end of the week, and we'll talk some more about the live chats, and I'll do a poll about time, and we'll see which ones y'all prefer, and we'll go with we'll say democracy rules here, and everybody gets a vote, and the majority that will be what the time zone is, what time I end up picking. That will be based on majority. So please don't hesitate to answer, because I am definitely going to be doing the live video sometime soon for y'all. So especially once I get the room set up where I'm on it, we'll have live coffee chats at least once a month, and then I'll have a live journal with me at least once a month. So the $3 tier and then the $15 tier. And I have a lot of other things planned for the $7 tier, and there's a watercolor project for the $15 tier. And I'm getting back on track, y'all. Getting back on track. Y'all have a great one. Thanks for being here. I love y'all. Bye.